Dude, I think religion is essential. Without it, I don't know, people would have no moral compass. We need the power of something that we think is a higher power to keep the society in check.
Dude, that's nonsense. People don't need some invisible dictator to behave. And secular societies prove that ethics can exist without any religious myths.
You don't give me example of a secular society. That kind of society is filled with depression, anxiety, aimlessness, and woke ideologies. Talk about a working society, a set of beliefs that many people can agree upon. That your secularism can't give. Religion can.
Are you saying religion gives purpose to people? More like it brainwashes people into following ancient rules. It's like a tool of control, and it's not a path to enlightenment.
But it's creating order, and that is what's important. Control or not control is secondary, but there is order on the streets. Otherwise, without it, society will fall apart. Secularism means anything is okay, and you're supposed to just say yes and proceed with life. That's not how a working society works. There is no order, there is just chaos.
Do you know that most wars and genocides have been driven by religious fanaticism? On the other hand, humanism provides reason and compassion, but religion promotes division and violence.
Not all wars are bad wars. There are some good wars that need to be fought against the evil. But for that, you need to get people to identify a common evil. I wouldn't say just because there is a war, it's a bad thing. And secondly, religion teaches love also. It teaches love and community. Isn't that what most of the underlying preambles of most religions are? To be tolerant, to love, to share, to be friendly, to not kill, and stuff like that.
Are you saying religion promotes love and a sense of community? I think religion thrives on exclusion. Like there's always a set of believers and non-believers. On the other hand, secularism is very inclusive. It doesn't judge people based on what religion or belief you have.
In secularism also there are believers and non-believers, because every person has his own limitations of what is okay and what is not okay. At least with religion, we are kind of lowering the level of disagreement among people. You can say that people who belong to a certain religion may find very less indifferences between them compared to people who are secular. Because what is secularism? It doesn't have a standard set of rules that everyone is agreeing upon, whereas religion does.
Dude, just look at how religion treats women all over the world and all the minorities in those countries. But secularism pushes for equality.
Religion inspired some of the greatest art, philosophy, and culture in the world. What has secularism done besides create shallow consumerism and self-indulgence?
And people who are religious, they just blindly follow all their old books. And I don't think most of them are even deep. There's lots of lazy writing and some lazy practices. And also, religion traps people into guilt and fear. The real freedom is rejecting these myths and facing reality head on.
So you're saying freedom is just like giving in to every desire, treating it as okay because it's a secular society. So whatever desire I have, I can just go and exercise without any questions asked, without anyone checking me to see if it is an okay thing to do. Without religion, people will lose any sense of purpose or morality. That's exactly point number one. You need to have an innate sense of what is right and what is not right, and that is driven by religion.
I think religion has always been the root of the problem. It hasn't stopped any society from falling apart. Just look at all the scandals that happens in religious institutions. And I think these are all just fairy tales, dude. We have to grow out of them.
Every solution comes with its own set of problems. There is no solution which is the most ideal or the most optimal. So yeah, sure, scandals might have come out, but those are exceptions. If you look at the larger picture, religion actually provided moral foundation for billions of people. Without it, there'd be nothing but chaos, right? At some point, you need to have some consensus to move forward. That's what religion provides.
I don't think people need religion for that. People are capable of building morals without any fear of hell or heaven or promise of some Amrit in the heaven. We don't need all the ancient myths to lead our meaningful lives. I think we are capable.
I don't know how you or I can sit here and certify that we are capable of it. There are definitely people who are not capable of it, and it's not a small percentage. And so what if these are myths? As long as the end goal is achieved, which is order, how does it matter if these are myths or not myths, or we'll be stuck in life aimlessly with secularism?
I think fear is what drives people, and that is what motivates people to be nice to others and have morals. I think people by themselves can be good for the sake of others. That's called human empathy. And I think that is a better guide than religion.
No, empathy alone I don't think is enough. People need something more. That is why we have laws. Even in a secular world, people still have laws because laws instill fear. If you do something wrong, you go to jail. That is a fear. That is a sense of fear that is installed as per unless you're telling me that secularism means no laws. If that's the case, then you have to make a good argument for that. There is some amount of fear that is part of the equation, but that is needed. You can't just run on empathy alone because there are different people. Not all of them are equally good. And we know that because there are people sitting in bars and there are people who are murderers. So clearly, we can't say that everyone is good. And therefore, I can't just use empathy as the only single benchmark to run a society. There needs to be something that has to be enforced.
Do you think religion gives a meaning to life to most people?
It does, for sure.
I think meaning comes from within, dude. It's the actions that we do. It's the relationships that we have, not from some divine order or command from God.
What if I come and tell you that I find meaning in killing people and removing their stomach? Now, are you okay with that?
You're saying religion offers hope and provides some kind of meaning to people, right?
Yes, I totally do. Because if there is religion or if there is some set of framework that has been instilled in me since I was a kid, I wouldn't grow up thinking that killing someone and pulling someone's stomach out gives me content or gives me meaning, because I've been taught to believe that there are other things that should give me meaning, like being a good person, helping people out, loving, sharing, caring, and these things come from religion. And why shouldn't it? So what if it is a few years old, or if it's a few thousand years old? So what if it has some imaginary entity instilling fear? As long as there is order, again, it shouldn't matter.
I think you're trying to say that religion is the only thing that can give you meaning and a sense of purpose in life. But I don't think that is the only way to live your life. I think without religion as well, even if you're an atheist, it still can give you meaning in some form.
There are so many things that can give you purpose in life, right? There can be financial success, which gives you purpose in life, which makes you want to wake up and go to work every day. There could be emotional meaning that gives you purpose in life, which is why you choose the person you want to marry and spend the life with and have goals together. Similarly, there is a rational purpose in life to be a better person, and that definition of a better person comes from religion. Because if there is not a single book or a single ideology that determines what is better, then what's better to you may not necessarily be better to me, and then you and I are now in conflict with each other. So what has that achieved? If religion has led to war, then what is this leading to?
Okay, see, in that case, do you agree that I can be an atheist and still try to find meaning in life? You could be religious in life and we can coexist together, and we don't have to force each other's beliefs.
If you're an atheist and I'm a religious person, your meaning in life may not necessarily be okay with everyone else. Yeah, it may just come across as something that doesn't sit well with society on the whole.